What up? It's L Boogie. How y'all doing? It's been a minute, but I was riding around today, right? Doing what I do. And as of recent, I've been subscribing to some of conservative black content creators. A few, cause as I've gotten older, I've kind of moved politically, and I'll say most so maybe morally slightly right of center. And that's because of maybe my values. I'm not necessarily, I don't necessarily agree with everything that the quote unquote conservatives, be it the Republicans or or whatever, totally agree with how everything they believe in politically. But morally, my values are slightly, well, maybe so slightly, but more so to the right of center, political wise. So I'm a registered independent, for obvious reasons. A lot of black men and a lot of black people, for that matter, are jumping ship from the Democratic Party, and right now they're in desperation mode. But what I want to talk about is black conservatives. Now, if you want to be conservative, then this is just my opinion. That's fine. I'm somewhat conservative when it comes to like abortion, kids not being exposed to certain lifestyles, what would be considered deviant lifestyles, if you know what I mean, the alphabet community. Now, and as of recent, I've been going on listening to some black conservatives, but it's one thing to be black and conservative, but a great many of the black conservatives that I've watched, they wish that maybe they could divorce themselves from the black community. So it's like, to me, it's a thing whereas they're black in their skin and they can separate themselves from it by being conservative. Because no matter if you're conservative, liberal, Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, or whatever political party you are, you can't divorce yourself from your black skin. So it's comical to me when I hear black conservatives speak on quote unquote so-called maybe the negative part of black culture, which in every culture, for that matter, there's negatives and positives, no matter what race you are from or ethnicity or whatever. There's negative, people in every race, creed, or color that aren't going to do what the hell they're supposed to do for whatever reason. Now, when it comes to black people, our situation is unique because of how our ancestors came to this country and how we were brought to the point where we are now. But it's funny to me how, I'll give a prime example. I was listening to this guy, and he was talking about it's a young man in Chicago had been shot by the police. They fired like 98 shots and killed him. And there seems to be evidence that the young man, he was 26 years old, had a weapon and shot at the police first, allegedly injuring an officer in the arm, and then of course they fired. They were plain clothes. They were in plain clothes. I guess they were some one of those special units or whatever, and they stopped him because he was supposedly not wearing a seatbelt, but the man had tinted windows. So how can you not, they couldn't really tell whether he had did or did not have a seatbelt on. So they end up killing the young man. If he shot at the police first, then quite naturally, whatever happened to him, that was bound to happen to him if he shot at the police first. But you have these black conservatives, they come on and they act as though the police has never been in the wrong. They have never like they've never been on the wrong side of killing a black motorist for no good reason. So they're on the side of white people when they say you should comply. Yes, if he had complied, he would still be here. But it's like they have this type of amnesia. I've been listening to a lot of them. They have amnesia when it comes to black history. Like there was our ancestors didn't come here in the bottom of slave ships. They all of a sudden just appeared. They're divorced from black history because they want to be divorced from black people, but they can't. So when you hear them talk, I agree with them when they talk about what the Democratic Party and the present administration have not done when it comes to making the best decisions for the country, and particularly the best decisions for their constituents, is which really is the black vote. What they haven't done, the promises, broken promises and all that. But when I hear them talk like they are divorced from their black skin, it is comical to me, because they sound and act just like white conservatives. So it's like they're delusional, disingenuous first, and delusional. No matter what you do, you could be in the Republican Party, you could be in the Democratic Party. You could belong to any organization on the right or the left. You could be educated, you could be non-educated. It does not divorce you from your black skin. So you can seem and be as non-threatening as you like, but considering the people you deal with, they may not care, because they're not going to look at you and say, well, he's on our side or she's on our side. That goes so far. That goes so far, because it's like you're rolling the dice. It's like playing Russian roulette. Eventually, you get your Negro wake-up call, like Candace Owens. She just got her Negro wake-up call. So now she's going on black platforms and whatnot, trying to realign herself with black people. Because if you're gonna go on black platforms that black people frequently watch, then she's trying to, I don't know if she's trying to reinvent herself, but she's might well go on and line up over there with Stacey Dash and Omarosa, because that's what she's gonna end up at. It's no coming back from the things that she's said about black people. There's no coming back for that. that's just that situation. But it's just, I listen to a few black conservatives, and they talk about, you know, black people's allegiance to the Democratic Party, and then, you know, these past 60 years and what has come of it, which is nothing. But at the same time, basically, to me, the only difference between the Democrats and the Republicans is the Republicans are more upfront with their racism and white supremacy. And whereas the Democrats, they tell black people what the fuck they want to hear. You know, they acknowledge them, acknowledge black people. You know, maybe get a, you know, at least, you know, they're acknowledging us. They're not going to do anything. So, as far as I'm concerned, with this upcoming election with Donald Trump, for me and maybe a lot of other people, an enemy of my enemy is, quote unquote, my friend. Now, if you look at what Trump is going to do, okay, I judge him off his last presidency. He pretty much does what he say he's gonna do. So if he says he's going to, there's gonna be a mass migration, mass deportation, then that's what's gonna happen. So I basically vote by being independent. What interests me, like Trump, what interests me about Trump is Trump, he's not a politician, he's a businessman, and he's honest. He's like, let's say you have two snakes. You have one snake in the grass you can't see, then you have the snake that's out in the middle of the yard getting some sun that you can see. You know, it's, you know, figuratively. So he's open and honest. You know, it's not a thing. Whereas what people do on the left and right, they're saying, oh, my white man is better than your white man. That's basically what's going on with some real liberal black people, and then on the other end, a lot of liberal white people. I mean, liberal black people and conservative black people. They going against each other, saying, like, you know, it's treating it like it's a competition, like my white man better than yours. But it's about what either side is going to give up. What am I going to get out of it? What am I going to get out of a Trump presidency? You know, considering the fact that we've had both of them for 4 years, and you can kind of gauge, you can judge what they've done in office, and you can judge what's going on now with Biden in office. So I don't have an allegiance to any side. And I think that is the thought process with a lot of black people now. Is like, we're not going to have allegiance to either side. We're going to support who's going to support us. The Democrats haven't supported us. Now, they like to play the Jedi mind trick on some black folks and say, well, what about the Democrats? That's a Jedi mind trick. After you come up with the facts, revealing everything that Biden has not done that he said he was going to do when they supported him with their vote. So when you bring the facts to them, they say, well, what about Trump, or what about the Republicans? We haven't supported the Republicans with our vote. I think last election, 2020, Trump got 8% of the black vote. Oh, it's going to be a different story this time. They're projecting him to get over 20% of the black vote. Of course, that's right now, this, you know, we don't know if that's going to really happen, but it's a great possibility that it is going to happen, because you have younger voters. They've grown up on information, and they'll tend to, you know, judge people off of what they do, and not just what has a party done in the past. You know, it's like, what have you done for me lately? So when I listen to those staunch black conservatives Christian values. That's good. That's good. Christian values and law and order and all this old good shit. Yes. But those things have to be, the statistics show. Let's look at hate crime statistics. Everybody know who suffer from more hate crimes in this country. All I gotta do is name the mass shooting by white supremacists in Florida and Tops grocery store in Buffalo. So that going on, it's like when you hear them speak, they speak as though I'm not black. They talk. It's interesting. It's interesting. Now me, I have somewhat conservative values, but on the other hand, I'm not trying to be accepted by either side. It's like, who's going to get done what the fuck I need to get done? And it don't matter who party, what color you are, none of that shit. Cause we have been, we have voted for people just because of what they look like. And now people are wising up, and it just ain't about what you look like. It's about what are you going to get done? Your platform. Is there a black agenda, a part of your political platform? So it's okay. I'm leaning. Well, I have conservative values. Yes, conservative values, but my conservative values don't go so far right that I'm seeking acceptance by white conservatives or the Republican Party. Mine is Trump is going to do this, and this. That's going to benefit me. Him coming into office, having a mass deportation, that benefits Americans. Not only Americans, but a lot of African Americans, that shouldn't have to compete with illegal immigrants for anything, jobs or anything else. See what I'm saying? So it's funny to me when I hear them say black culture is this and the culture this and this and that and blah blah blah. They down in black culture, but at the same time, they're being real disingenuous, because the way we are as a people, we are that for a reason. So then when you bring up the statistics and about what this country has done and have been to black people, then they want to say, well, y'all running in the victim Olympics. No, we were and are victims to this day. So whomever, if you're black and conservative, far right conservative, and you listen to the sound of my voice, you cannot like the culture, which is a part of our culture that's very non-productive and detrimental to what we want to be as a people. That's a given. I will acknowledge that. I'm not gonna get on here and say that it's a lot of shit that we shouldn't be doing. Our people don't want to take accountability for certain things that we should be accountable for. But at the same time, that does not erase the fact how our ancestors were brought to this country and the fact that they built this country for free. Cotton was king, and all the other things, our treatment, all the way up until this day. It doesn't change that. And that has to be rectified. That's America's original sin. And it has to be rectified. And if it's not rectified, then this issue and subject is never going to go away. But I'll say this. If white America, both sides, liberal and conservative, wanted to move past this issue, they would be the biggest proponent of reparations. Okay, let's make this right, because once Once it's rectified, then nobody we can move on. You move on to something else. But this issue is not going to go away, considering the fact that other people, other peoples in the United States have received reparations. The Japanese received reparations for being in internment camps, during World War II. It's been done before. Is that you have white people who judge their progress and where they are in America by black people. They judge that. Okay, well, I might be poor, but I ain't poorer than the niggers. You know what I'm saying? That. And then you have some that's propping up Abraham Lincoln, like Abraham Lincoln did black people a favor when he signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Lincoln said, I want to preserve the Union. See, let me hit you with these facts. This for you delusional black conservatives. Lincoln wanted to preserve the Union. He said he'd do that by freeing all the slaves or not freeing slaves at all. And he felt that in the future that these black slaves were going to be in the future an issue or problem going forward, and he wanted, come up with a program to send black people out of America. But besides that point, Frederick Douglass and his generals was on his ass about signing it because the Union Army was getting their asses wore out by the South. They had not won one battle. The South was putting Stomp Johnson on them. President Lincoln did not free black people because he cared about us or cared about our ancestors. It wasn't a benevolent thing. He did that because they were getting their asses tore up, and he had to free the slaves. We used the Emancipation Proclamation to free the slaves in the, what is it called, the rebellious states or whatever. And then actually only free slaves on the border states. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. It's the fact that he had to do it. He did it to save the Union. He didn't do it because he loved black people. So you're being real disingenuous, but when you come up on a joke like me, who I read, study American and black history, to the average person that you talk to that don't even know anything about history, and you say that, yes, Lincoln was a great emancipator and he actually cared about the slaves, that's why he freed them, that is a fucking lie. And he told his generals, y'all have to win. He wouldn't sign it until they won a major battle. Because if he hadn't signed it before they won a major battle, then it would have went down in history that the Union had to free the slaves to save the Union. They had to free the slaves to save the Union, which is what really happened. So Lincoln didn't free the slaves because he was such a good guy and a Republican. He freed the slaves because they was getting their asses wore out, and they had to bring us in. And that's when they found out that black men were not cowards and could whoop some ass. Because they would send black troops into battle with no ammunition. They would suffer great casualties because they didn't have ammunition, but they found out that beast, I wouldn't say savage when it comes to whooping some ass. That's when they found out who we were when it came down to the fight, that we would fight. But he didn't free. He said, you're slaves, all I see you is a slave, and I free you. That's what that was about. So it's like, when I listen to them, it's like they're being real disingenuous. They're not basing they're not basing what they're talking about off of all the facts. They gloss over the facts. So because they want to be divorced from black culture and black people, and you can be divorced. You cannot participate. You cannot participate. You can become educated. You could go do well in business. You could do well. You could be rich. Like, you have some black people who think their money insulates them from being black. I'ma still be rich, and yeah, you're gonna still be rich, but you're a rich nigga. You're a rich nigga. That's all you is. You're a rich nigga, an educated nigga. You're rich. You could be rich, you could be poor, and it does not matter. You could be educated, not educated, but this is America, and no matter what side you on, liberal or conservative, you are a nigga in America. Let's get that out of the way. Since it seems a bunch of y'all are real delusional. So if I don't ride around in tinted windows, if I do everything not to participate in black culture, if I become successful financially, somehow that's gonna negate my blackness. Yes, it negates your blackness until you get stopped by the wrong police officer. And he don't give a damn how much money you got, because to him you a rich nigga. Then that's the wake-up call right there. Then you like, oh, I've done everything. I dress this way. I don't live amongst them. I'm a Christian. None of that shit matters. That shit don't matter. That shit don't matter. That don't matter. So you can go and dip yourself in the white. It ain't gonna matter. Look at Sammy Sosa. Sammy Sosa look like a whole damn crayon. Sammy Sosa, you can put a picture of him when he was a great baseball player. He looked like a fucking crayon. Not crayon, I mean a white piece of chalk. He looks like a white piece of chalk because he wants to be accepted. He has an issue with self-hatred, and a lot of our people have an issue with self-hatred. But to you conservative Negroes, be conservative. I have conservative values, but I don't want to be accepted because it's never going to happen. And I'm not going to waste my time and effort trying to be accepted by a people that is not going to accept me. I accept my own and I be myself. Minister Farrakhan words. Accept your own and be yourself. Do that. But political wise in this political season, yes. The President Biden, and I'm like, if you're gonna vote Democrat, I will say this. Black people that's gonna line up and vote Democrat, we're in this, it's mostly 65 and over. 65 and over. And because you give them the facts, and then I'm with the Republicans. I'm with the Democrats. Go right ahead, because we all have more years behind us than ahead. If in your 50s, 60s, like that, you do. But I'm thinking about my grandkids. I don't have any. I think about the future. And I'll just think about it, because the decisions we make now, see, we are selfish people. We have that, we don't think about ourselves. And we're not even, because you usually want to think about your grandkids or your kids and grandkids, how they gonna fare in this country after your ass done gone taking a dirt nap. You taking a dirt nap, and then your kids and grandkids got to live on, and then your great grandkids, they have to live on in this country. Think about that. And it ain't about the person, it's about what we think it's about the personality in the person, if I like you or not. It ain't about it's about business. And that's one of the things I don't like about our people. We can't work with people unless we like them, or unless everybody fucking agree. You ain't gotta agree. I don't agree with what's going on the left. I don't agree with everything that's going on the left, especially the left. Too far left. I mean, what? It's like this. I want to say it's degeneracy. The far left and what's going on with the left. It's just what? So I am somewhat conservative. I am. But I'm not conservative to the point where I want to be accepted by either side. I'm conservative as long as I can get what the fuck I want or what I need from the conservative side. And I'm liberal if I can get what the fuck or what I want or what I need from the liberal side. Is whoever is, no loyalty. And we shouldn't have no loyalty. We have loyalty to ourselves. Let's do that, But you have people, and it's real comical, because you'll never be accepted. You'll never. No matter how you act, no matter how much money you got, you'll never be accepted. You'll never be. And you look real foolish. When you're talking about as though you don't belong in your black skin. Now, if we were in America and they didn't, and the first thing they didn't see is that you black, then it would be different. But this country was made off of racism, made off of race, built off of race. It was. So it does not matter what you do. It matters not. It matters not how you dress. 3-piece suit. You can dress and be as non-threatening as you want to. If you're in a situation, be it on your job, be it in your job, your career, or be it just out driving, and it comes a point where you will be reminded of who you are. Tiger Woods got reminded. When he was on the meds, he fell asleep and had an accident. And they brought him in because, they didn't know if he was drunk or drinking or not or whatever the hell was wrong with him. And they put on the police report, who he was. He won compilation, black. So you have a right. This is America. I will say this about America. In America, you are free. When they talk about the pursuit of happiness, your freedom of speech and the right for the pursuit of happiness, that covers, it's a broad term and it covers a lot. So when you tell people that they have a right to the pursuit of happiness, it's whatever makes them happy. And if some of our people, it makes them happy to be delusional. Our people and people in general. You're free to be delusional if it makes you happy. So you have a lot of black people on the left and the right. I'm talking about on both sides, the Republicans and the Democrats. You have a lot of black people that are fucking delusional for real. Delusional. I'm talking about detached from reality. You know what I'm saying? You can quote all the scriptures you want. You can make all the right investments you want. You can speak about as negative about what's going on in black, quote unquote, black culture or the black community all you like. But you still a nigga. You may not be one to yourself, but you are to the country you live in. So, but that's all I have to say about that. It's just, I was sitting here thinking, like, I'll make a video about black conservatives. So, and I'm not just gonna put being delusional on black conservatives. It's both sides. Left and right. Black people are delusional, and it's more so it's more worse on the left side in how black people relate to the Democratic Party than they do to the Republican Party, because we have supported the Democrats for 60 years with our vote and hadn't got a win since 1965? What is Voting Rights Act? Hadn't got a win. And have been raised and conditioned to support the Democrats and be happy not to receive anything. So on the left side, when it comes to blacks and the Democrats, we have been more delusional. On the right side, there is a smaller amount of delusional black people. So it's delusion going on both sides. That being said, I'm gonna end my Friday rant. You know what I'm saying? But it amazes me when I listen to them talk. I'm listening to both sides. I'm like, these niggas They delusional on each side. On the, it's not as many on the right side that's delusional. But it's just when they talk, you be like, you talk like you're not sitting in your black skin. Yes. And you be conservative if you want to. Be conservative, but don't be delusional. Be conservative and still be conservative, but don't forget who the fuck you are. Be liberal, Negroes, especially Negroes on the liberal side, on the left. Be liberal. Be a Democrat if you want to, but right now it's not faring well. I wouldn't say to be a Democrat. When you get in that booth, you can vote for whoever the fuck you want to vote for. Or not vote at all. Vote for the couch. A lot of people gonna vote for the couch because you're gonna have some people that just can't bring themselves to vote for Trump, and they're real dissatisfied with Biden. They know what's going on with him, and they're not really attracted to any other third party candidates. If that was me, I'd write Bozo the Clown. I'd do it right here, Bozo the Clown for president. You know what I'm saying? But I made this video concerning the black conservatives being delusional, but you can't. They're delusional, but not. I wouldn't say not as delusional as black people that are Democrats. Delusional. As they just. I was like, it is madness. Madness is doing the same shit all the time, every time, expecting a different result. That's madness. So it's madness on both sides. It's madness on both sides. Negroes, but it's just more. It's more psychosis on the left side than the right. But when you look at the right side, I hear these black people. I hear these black conservatives talk. If they talking about the quote unquote so-called moral values as far as like abortion, the hot button issues like abortion, migration, when it comes to protecting children from quote unquote deviant lifestyles and all the other madness going with that I'm not gonna go into, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. But they ain't putting no food on the table. Abortion. That's a big one, abortion. Just because I do or don't believe in abortion, they ain't putting no food on the table. Gas, $3.50 a gallon. Being for or against abortion is not gonna. This is a wedge issue. They have those wedge issues that can drive a wedge. As well, I like what this candidate talking about with his economics, but he believes or doesn't believe in abortion. There's those wedge issues. But I ain't gonna tell you how to do it. But I'm voting for whomever is going to get done what I need done. And right now, Biden not get it done. He's not getting it done. It's just a whole lot. And I really believe they're taking advantage of him, even though if he was in his right mind, he would still make some of the same bad decisions. But him being in cognitive decline, he's being led. He has to be led. He's being led. I would say it's borderline elder abuse, because he should be with his grandkids or whatever doing what retired people do. But that's neither here nor there. But at the same time, your white man is not, and we're not gonna do. I'm not doing my white man better than your white man bullshit. I'm not doing that. Trump is better than Biden, or Biden is better than Trump. I will say this: Trump's policies and what he's going to do as far as the country is concerned, I agree with, and for the good of not only America but for my community. he's gonna do what he say he's gonna do. That's why then you have to, and I also look at the fact that they trumping up all these charges and whatnot, no pun intended, on him because they know they can't beat him. They can't beat Trump. They can't. My prediction is he's gonna win by a landslide. He's gonna win by a landslide, and it's logic, okay, and it's emotions too. I'm devoid of emotions. I don't have no feeling for either dude. It's about what the fuck you can get done. I don't have no feeling, no like, dislike, or none of that. I may dislike either person because of their policies and how it helps or hurts our community. But the like person, I don't know these people personally. I don't know them. I don't know either candidate personally. But I know that if I vote, and to me it just depends. Okay, yeah, I believe in what Trump gonna do when he get in there, but ultimately it's about what is our community gonna get from either candidate. We know we're not gonna get nothing from the Democrats, but Trump should be pressed. Now his last presidency, when you line both candidates up next to each other, neither one of them has really done a whole lot for the black community, but Trump has done more. The few things he's done more than Biden. But we don't necessarily go off of facts. We go off of how we feel. I don't like it. So this or and then, come on, man. Come on now. We come on. It's facts over feelings. It's not about how the fuck you feel. It's about what the fuck you know. You know what I'm saying? That is with me. But ultimately, reality-wise, it's not how you feel. It's not about how you feel. It's about what you know. I'm going off what I know. I'm going off what I know about each candidate. And you can judge Biden by his 4 years, and you can judge Trump by his 4 years. And who do you fare better under? Running the country-wise. I won't say under, but who runs the country better? That's what I'm voting for. Who's gonna run the country better? Who's gonna handle the economy better? Who's gonna get these damn gas prices down better? You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna promote fiscal policy to decrease inflation and all that? The stuff that really matter. Whether he is cool, wears sunglasses, whether he's black, white, or Martian, don't mean shit. It's about what you're gonna do when you get in there. Now, I will say this about Trump. I think a lot of the people that has influence don't like Trump because he's not gonna follow script. You know who he is. He's just not. I believe this second time around he'll take more, advice from people, as far as being advised on maybe foreign policy or whatever, or anything any decision he has to make. Second time around usually do it better, but at the same time he's not gonna be. We need you to do this. He's not gonna do that because that's not his personality. And that's what a lot of people like about Trump, is that, he say what he mean. And he go right in and he start doing stuff, He go right in and start doing things. It's not like he comes and makes a lot of excuses why he can't do stuff. He go in and get it done if he has to write an executive order. Whereas the other cat on the other side, we don't hear nothing but excuses and other things. So it's really, to me, it's really about that. It's about what either candidate is going to do, as far as the country is concerned and my community, and that's probably why a lot of other people are thinking more so, because the immigration right now, you can't keep letting these jokers in here. You don't know who the hell they are. He flying them in on secret. on an app. All they gotta do is go on the app and sign up, and then flying them jokers in here in the dark. They trying to close the border off. The border was bleeding them. They cut the border off, and he flying them in. I mean, what the? Come on, man, really? And y'all gonna line up and vote for this joker? 4 more years of them, and it won't be no America. It won't. It won't. It won't. It won't be in America. So, if you're gonna vote, don't vote because you like who you like. Vote because of what they're gonna do, or the decisions they're gonna make. That's gonna be best for the country. Do that. That being said, I'm gonna sign off. Been on here about 45 minutes, running off in the mouth. Had made a video in a while. Thought I'd get this to you guys. This is the Boogie Speaks 2 show. I just published a book 2 weeks ago, Reckoning with History, the case for reparations in Black America. It's a hot topic that's going on now. We are owed reparations, regardless of what the black right say. Okay, if you black and you on the right and you conservative, sign your check over to me. Because eventually it's going to happen. It's going to happen whether you like it or not. It's going to happen. So whatever we get, and in my book, it's just not money. It's a lot of other things. It's not money. In my book, I don't just talk about reparations as being one big ass check. Although it should be in the form, some of the reparations should be in form of cash payments to the descendants of Black American slaves. That's in my book. But that's not the only thing. Reparations is not only that. It's a lot of other stuff that goes on in the community that need to be repaired, So in the description of my channel, there's a link for you to purchase my book. It is also in ebook form. You can either buy the ebook or you can buy a hard copy, have it sent to you. And then maybe one day we'll meet and I'll sign the book for you. But I think it is a very pertinent, it speaks well. It lays out a case, because my other beef with black conservatives is this. Okay, well, I don't need a handout, or like the money is going to come out of your pocket. The money ain't coming out of your pocket. It's coming from the United States Treasury, like everything else comes from. United States Treasury, that's where the money would come from. And then, there would be other, hopefully we can get some people together that actually care about the black community more than themselves, and they could hash out a plan to do other things, as far as healthcare is concerned, and other issues that we have in our community. You can get together and they could work something out, in addition to receiving cash payments. But cash payments are due to descendants of black slaves in America. Then there's also in the description of my channel, along with the link to purchase my book, I have a blog, punisintended.blogspot.com. There's some writings there you might be interested in. And I have 4 or 5 seasons on my Anchor podcast. Listen to El Boogie. That being said, I'm going to sign off for now. But if you would, go on there and take a look at, click on the link. You can see the description of the book, what it's about, what it all entails, and purchase a copy. It's educational, and it gives to me, I wrote it so it give a better insight on all that has happened to our people. And it goes into intricate detail, especially about redlining, how redlining is a major reason why there's a health gap between white and black, because they redline whole communities and wouldn't give loans for homes or anything. Called one way of passing wealth on to your children is through is being a homeowner, buying a home and passing it on to paying it off and passing it on to your children. So it's a lot. It's a lot. People don't really understand, but in this book, it's not even long. It's 107 pages long. And it's not long, but it's strong. It's straight and to the point. So if you want to know about the subject. I think a lot of people base their decisions off of what they see on TV, what other people say, instead of seeking out the proper information, you know. So it would be a good idea if you can download the ebook. The ebook is half the price of the book. Download the ebook. Ebook is like $7.50. Download the ebook and learn. That's our thing, learn. And don't go off of how you feel, go off of what you know, because once you read my book, you'll be very well educated on the subject. That being said, this is El Boogie from the El Boogie Speaks to the show. Like and subscribe. Y'all love one another. Hope y'all have a wonderful and great weekend. Of course, today is Friday, and I will